Anacharsis. Anacharsis the Scythian was the son of Gnurus and brother of Caduidas, the Scythian king, but his mother was a Greek, which is why he spoke both languages. He composed a poem of 800 verses on the customs of the Greeks and the Scythians with regard to simplicity of life and military matters, and because of his outspokenness he furnished the occasion for a proverb, to talk like a Scythian. Socrates says that he came to Athens in the 47th Olympiad, during the archonship of Eucrates. Hermippus says that on arriving at Solon's house, Anacharsis told one of his servants to announce that he had come and wished to see Solon, and, if possible, to become his guest friend. And the servant, when he conveyed the message, was ordered by Solon to tell Anacharsis that men generally make guests only of persons from their own country. In response, Anacharsis said that he was now in Solon's own country and had a right to be entertained as a guest. And Solon, struck by his quick-wittedness, admitted him and made him his greatest friend. After a while, when he returned to Scythia and was thought to be subverting his country's customs, since he made much of Greek ways, he was shot by his brother's arrow while hunting, and perished after having said that he had returned from Greece in safety thanks to Logos, but was killed in his native land thanks to Phthonus. Some say that he was slain while performing Greek rites. Here is my own epigram about him. When Anacharsis, after roaming widely, came to Scythia, he wished to persuade everyone to live according to Greek customs, but when the word on his lips was still unachieved, a winged arrow swiftly spirited him to the immortals. It was he who said that the vine bears 3 clusters of grapes. The first is that of pleasure, the second that of drunkenness, and the third that of disgust. He said he found it astonishing that among the Greeks the skilled compete, but the amateurs judge. When asked how one could avoid becoming too fond of wine, he said, "By keeping before your eyes the disgraceful conduct of drunkards." He used to say that he found it surprising that the Greek lawgivers penalize the violent, but reward athletes for striking one another. Upon learning the hull of a ship was 4 finger-breadths thick, he said that this was the distance that separated the passengers from death. He said that olive oil was a drug that induces madness, because athletes, when they anoint themselves with it, are maddened against one another. Why, he said, do they prohibit lying and yet tell blatant falsehoods in their business dealings? He was astonished, he said, that the Greeks, to begin with, drink from small cups, and, once they are sated, from large ones. His statues bear this inscription: "Bridle speech, gluttony and lust." When asked whether there are flute players in Scythia, he said, "No, nor even vines." When asked which are the safest vessels, he said, "Those in dry dock." And he said that the most astonishing thing he had seen in Greece was that they leave smoke on the mountains and convey the fuel into the city. When asked which are more numerous, the living or the dead, he said, "In which category, then, do you place those who are sailing?" When reproached by a native of Attica because he was a Scythian, he said, "In truth, my native land is a disgrace to me, but you are a disgrace to your native land." When asked what among men is both good and bad, he said, "The tongue." He said it was better to have one friend of great worth than many worth nothing. He defined the market as a place where men may deceive and defraud one another. Insulted by a drunken youth, he said, "Young man, if in youth you cannot hold your liquor, you will be a water-carrier in old age." According to some, he invented for the needs of life the anchor and the potter's wheel. And he wrote the following letter: Anacharsis to Croesus. I, O king of the Lydians, have come to the land of the Greeks to be instructed in their customs and pursuits. I have no need of gold, but am content to return to Scythia a better man. At any rate, I have come to Sardis, as I attach great importance to earning your esteem.